All right, another company we're focusing on this afternoon is Aarti Drugs. Adhish Patil, the CFO and COO, is on with us. The reason we're speaking to them is the 60 crore rupee buyback that they have announced recently. Now, it's the season of buybacks and perhaps helped a bit by, what the finance minister's announced in the budget as well. I'll ask Mr. Patil if that's the reason. Mr. Patil, welcome. Great to speak with you on NDTV Profit. Tell us the rationale of the buyback to begin with.
Yeah, so we always do shareholder payout to the tune of around 25% of profit after tax. So this year, payout was pending. So if we sum up everything, if I include this buyback, it will be around 26% of the last 8 years' profit, all combined. So we thought that this is the right time to do the buyback before 30th September.
What was really the, I think, excitement about your buyback, Mr. Patil, was your price at 900 rupees a share. A huge premium to the current market price. And I recall the afternoon that it was announced, we were live on the show and we saw that sudden spike up. We couldn't quite understand why. So one of the reasons we wanted to speak with you is exactly ask this question. Why 900 rupees a share with the kind of current market price? About what, 60-70% premium?
Yeah, so basically last buyback what we had done was at similar price, 900 rupees. And since that buyback, we have done a lot of investments. All our greenfield projects are now ready to begin in this financial year. So we thought that it wouldn't be nice to do a buyback lesser than that. So that was the main rationale behind giving the premium and going ahead with the similar price of last year of 900 rupees.
Okay. Adhish, good afternoon. Neeraj here. So is this the last of the buybacks? Because the tax, the budget provisions possibly make buybacks slightly less attractive going ahead?
Yeah, so we don't know. If we see last 6 years, earlier it was in BBT regime, and then they had changed it to buybacks will be taxable at the hands of shareholders. Then they again reverted back to BBT regime, and now again they're going back. So we don't know. Means as of now, it seems like tax inefficient for shareholder payout going forward. We'll wait and watch what government thinks or if any new policies comes out.
Okay. Now, Adhish, what about business? I mean, the one problem with doing the buyback at the same price as last year is that it means that the price of the stock hasn't gone up. And that is presumably because business has been flattish. Now, if I look at what's happened in the recent quarter, right? I mean, not too much of growth, the top line, EBITDA, bottom line. What's happening? I thought the API business as well. I mean, the export business saw a notable decline too. What's happening with business?
Yeah, so if you look at the API business in general for last 2 years, last year was the selling prices of API were maximum. It was even higher than those seen during the COVID periods. And then once the crude started declining since last September, the prices started declining, the solvent prices started going down, and every quarter we saw some decline in the prices. And usually the selling prices in API industry follows the input prices. So we saw that there was heavy decline year on year. So especially the selling price rate negative variance is quite high. Even for last quarter, only in export segment, we saw a rate decline of almost around 9 to 10% year on year. And that was mainly because ideally in the March quarter, all the prices were corrected. And after April month, the prices are quite stable. But what happened in the exports is that we have...
We can't hear you, Mr. Patil. I think we've lost your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you are. Yes. Please continue.
Yeah. So I was saying that after April month, the prices of API have stabilized. But in exports, because we carry pending orders of almost around 2.5 to 3 months, in June quarter, whatever orders were negotiated in March quarter got realized. So that is why we saw a dip from March versus June.
So this gets rationalized next quarter onwards, or it take a couple of quarters?
No. So if you see September quarter, the negative price variation quarter versus quarter won't be there. It will be almost similar. The prices will be same.
Okay, and what about margins? Do you see margins coming back from the September quarter?
S- Yeah, so there were two reasons why EBITDA margin was hit last time. Most important reason was the sales was down, the demand itself. So demand was also down. The volume saw a little bit. We had a little bit negative hit on volumes as well last quarter, and that was the reason why operating leverage was less, and then the EBITDA margin went down. Otherwise, as far as gross contribution is concerned, gross margins are doing well. We are improving year on year. Uh, so going forward, we hope that gross margins will improve by 1 or 2% more, and then it will stop at that price. And once our utilization of capacities pick up, then we'll be back to those 14.5 to 15% EBITDA margins.
All right. Thank you so much, Adhish Patil, CFO of Aarti Drugs. Thank you so much for speaking with us. And